Hey YouTubers, I am back finally with a bag review. What bag? The Think Tank Photo Retrospective 7. This is a bag I can get excited about, so I'll just say that right up front. It's a really great bag. I did a review on the Retro 5 some months ago, and while I thought it was a really well constructed bag, had a lot of nice design features, I just felt like maybe it was a little too kind of small for all those features and kind of got in its own way. Still a good bag, a lot of people like it, it didn't fit my particular needs. This bag though, this is a big winner for me. So let's talk about it a bit. First off, it has the typical construction that I've seen out of Think Tank. It's basically like a blown up Retrospective 5 or a shrunken down Retrospective 10. This material they use is really nice. It's soft, but it feels very tough. It's got a handle on the top that's adjustable. One thing I like a lot is the strap. The strap is a very soft strap, and it has a really nicely padded shoulder pad. Nicely padded shoulder pad. You would hope that a shoulder pad would be padded. Anyway, it's very soft, and then it's got these nice rubber gripper dealies on here, and it adjusts to a really long length. And as you may have noticed, I like to hang my cameras in bags low, so that's a good thing. And it also added a pocket for an iPad or a MacBook Air, which is pretty cool. The Retro 5 is too small to do that. You can't hold that against it, but they were able to do it since it's a slightly larger bag. So I thought I would just kind of unpack this guy so you can see what I have in it. It holds quite a bit, actually. So the first thing, let me get this out of the way, is a Hasselblad V-Series with an 80 on it. Got my light meter, the lens hood for a 150F. I've got 2 backs in here, so a total of 3 backs. I could shoot 3 different rolls of film if I went out with this kit. I have my patented protective padding that I put between these guys. And then there's I'm going to show all this from above eventually. Got a filter, lens pen, just a marker, and got a tripod plate and a bubble level for the Hasselblad in case I am to put it on a tripod. And in the front I've got some extra rolls of film, some of my note-taking apparatus, and some cards that I hand out when I do stranger photos. In the back, I would never carry this when I'm really out shooting, but I've got a MacBook Air. It fits in there really nicely. So let me switch the camera around and kind of show you what the interior looks like and how this stuff fits, and I'll show how some other stuff fits too. Alright, now we're looking down into the bag, and I've just kind of left it as it came from the manufacturer. These pads you can fold over. They're hinged. They also include extra pads, a good number of them, and so you can kind of configure this however you like. It looks pretty flexible to me. On the sides, just like in the Retro 5, and I'm sure the Retro 10 has this too, there are these pockets. And so if you're doing digital camera stuff, you could probably throw a charger in there, I don't know, whatever, your weed, you know, that sort of stuff. This is a really roomy area, and you can configure it to carry, I'd say, pretty much any medium format system you can imagine, and certainly it was designed for larger digital SLRs, so I'm sure it'll hold those too with their big fat lenses, similar to medium format big fat lenses. And then they've got the front pocket. It's basically just a big, wide open pocket. You can do whatever you want in here. It's not really subdivided or anything. So, you know, I would use that to throw filters, film, etc. into. The raincoat, you can just Velcro it around that red thing. That's a nice little bag. That's a pretty thoughtful feature, in my opinion. And then sort of in here, this is actually pocketed storage. So got some pockets like for memory cards. I can imagine using these for that. There's a pen pocket. I stuck my Hasselblad tool into that. And then here are the extra pads. There's one full size, good a large pad, and then there's a couple of smaller pads. So, you know, you can pretty much configure the interior the way you want. Then, while I have the top here, I wanted to mention the silencer system. This is a really cool thing. If you don't like the sound of Velcro ripping open, or you don't like the action of ripping it open, you can hide the Velcro with these things. You get the idea. These things fold over. Hang on one second. There we go. These things can either be locked down under these flaps, or you can expose them and cover up your Velcro. Notice here, I've just covered it up mostly. I've left just a little bit there. So that's one cool thing. It's not off or on necessarily. You can kind of adjust how much Velcro grip you want. Alright, so I'm going to fill it up with gear. Here goes the Hasselblad 150. I put in sideways. Sorry if this is making you motion sick. It gives me a little more room to put something on top, such as a light meter, where I can sort of slide that down to the side. Then over on this side, drop the backs in. Patented padded separator, another back. You can imagine how you could fit filters and so forth into these slots in here. We'll slide this lens pen into a pen pocket. You know, the rest of it's just kind of randomly finding a place for your goodies. And usually take the lens hood for the 80 and just kind of put it over the lens. There you have it for a Hasselblad kit. It's a pretty darn full kit. You can definitely live with 2 lenses and 3 backs for a day. There's no doubt about that. Okay, let's try throwing some 35mm film gear in here. This is my Leica R8 with a 90mm mounted to it. That's a bit of a snug fit. I have not adjusted this from the Hasselblad, so can't blame the bag for that. That's me. Slides in this way too. Works very nicely. Now, the lenses for a 35mm non-autofocus, image stabilization, those are pretty small, so you can fit gobs of lenses in here. I'm just going to stack these. Normally I would put spacers in there. You might even be able to get them side by side. So, I mean, you could carry a crazy amount of film SLR gear in here. Probably better for digital SLRs just because of the size of the lenses. These pockets seem to be sort of more sized for that sort of thing. But of course, you can make this thing do whatever you want. They give you all of the dividers and stuff, so you can customize it to your own needs. Right, now I've widened this a little. Let's try it with the R8 with the motor drive attached. So it's a heck of a lot bigger now, and it's probably more along the lines of the Pro Canon and Nikon digital SLRs, and you can see it slides right. Alright, so I set it up for cradle style. If you were to have a DSLR and you got a big fat zoom on the front of it, you can pop it in there like that with the lens pointing down, and still have room, at least on this side, for lens, and sort of over here. It all depends on the size of your gear that you're putting in there. Alright, so that's my quick overview of this bag. Just some final thoughts. First off, it's a really great bag. I like it a lot. I think it's great for medium format kits, and certainly good for digital SLR kits with the larger lenses that those come with. One thing I like about it, I'm just going to compare it for a moment to the closest Domkey bag I can think of, and that's the F2, which is kind of larger than this. However, once you put a bunch of stuff in it, you don't want to carry it. So it's not the F2's fault if you overstuff it and try to carry it, but it leads you to try. This bag, because it's a little smaller, you can't put as much in it. I recommend you try not putting so much in it. You can walk around with this thing, and it's super comfortable to carry. I like that a lot about it. So if you're carrying a Hasselblad kit, just the body, 1 lens mounted, extra lens, 1 extra back, some film, a meter, and you're good to go, and it's very easy to lug this guy. So thanks for watching. If you get one of these, I hope it works out for you. Enjoy it, and I'll talk to you later.